Welcome back to Simrai Fashion Academy YouTube channel once again. Today is going to be the making of this dress you are seeing on the screen. So the dress we have there is actually a princess dart, okay, and we have our flounces sewn with crinoline from the neckline to the sleeve. Okay, so it's not an off shoulder, it's a shoulder dress, but then from the tip of your shoulder seam line, you'll be coming in by 1 inch and connect to the neckline to achieve that particular dress. So right now I'll be demonstrating how to sew this using my front bodies and my base. So this is the front bodies and this is the back bodies. So I'm going to demonstrate this using the front and the back bodies, as you can see. So the front bodies we have right here. I'm supposed to draft my princess dart, but because I have a detailed video on how to make a good princess dart on this channel, okay, I'll be dropping the link on the description box below if you want to learn how to draft a princess dart, because the dress we have there is a princess dart dress. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every time. Like this video, share to family and friends, and drop your comments on the comment section as well. So now I will be cutting what I have here. This is a basic front bodies and this is the back. I'm cutting this on fold and I'll cut only one piece of this, okay? Then I'm going to cut my my basic sleeve on the biceps, okay, so I can show you how to sew the flounces to that dress, okay. So I'll quickly cut this right now and I'll be back to show you how to stitch them together. But if you are making this dress yourself, please make sure you have drafted your armhole princess dart, sewed your bustier before you do what we are doing on this today. So now I've cut out my pattern front and back. As you can see, I added my necessary seam allowances, and then I've also cut out my sleeve, okay. So I make a notch to the front part of the sleeve, which I'm going to sew to the front part of the sleeve before we proceed with our flounces. So now I'm going to show you what we are actually going to do on this dress. Now I will reshape the neckline. Like I told you, the neckline is 1 inch, but I'll add half an inch. Can you see? I'm adding half an inch. That is 1.5, half for seam allowance. So once you sew, you have 1 inch. Then here I will come down by 1.5 again, so that once you sew, you have 1 inch. So I'll just, trim off my desired neckline, okay. So remember, like I said, this is a princess dart. So by now I believe you have sewn your princess dart and padded your bustier before you proceed with this. So this is what we have on that dress. So I'm also going to shape the neckline. I'm shaping the neckline for the back. I'll also start from here at 1.5. So it depends on how you want your neckline for the back to be. I mean how low. So I'll just take it from the natural neckline at 2 inches. Okay, so you can go down, you can go upper. So I'll be using one part of this sleeve to show you. So I'll go to my machine now. Assuming this is my princess dart dress, I'm going to join this. Once I sew this seam line, the normal way you do that, I will come over to sew my sleeve. So I'll bring my sleeve now. This is my sleeve. Remember, I made a notch to the part that will be for front. So I'm looking for my notch. You can see my notch. So that will be the part. So, but you are supposed to also notch your center grain line. Okay, so I'll have to notch it because once I sew this sleeve now, sew the seam line next I will do is to sew the sleeve. So let me sew this and sew the sleeve in it. So now you can see I've sewn the sleeve. So this is exactly how you are going to do this. Okay, to achieve that flounce, this is exactly what you are going to do. So what we have right here is the shoulder seam line, and this is the armhole. That is, the sleeve has been sewn. In the normal way, this is our sleeve, as you can see here. But now you are not supposed to close up the size of this dress and close up the sleeve at all. So we'll be sewing a flounce on it. So I have my spiral flounce, which I have cut and hairstayed. Okay, I have my crinoline in it as well, as you can see. So to achieve that, you need your crinoline. I have a detailed video on this channel on how to sew your crinoline perfectly, okay, with your lining, as you can see. So I have a detailed video on how to make a spiral flounce. I'll be dropping all of this link on the description box. So first you need to watch the video on how to make a flounce. If you don't know how to make a spiral flounce, watch how to sew your crinoline, so you'll be able to come out with this spiral flounce I want to use to sew to this dress. So now the next thing we want to do right here, this is the back and this is the center back. This flounce is sewn. You can see how I spread out my sleeve. So that is how you are going to spread your sleeve. So you spread your sleeve and you measure from your neckline 2 inches from the center. This is the center front. Okay, you measure 2 inches from there, like that. You need to be creative at this point. Can you see? I'm drawing this into the sleeve and I'm going to curve it back. Can you see? That is exactly how it is on the thumbnail. So I will just sew I will start sewing from this line. Okay, what I mean is this. I'll come in with my already prepared crinoline and I'll start sewing from here. Can you see? My already prepared flounce, sorry. I'll start sewing like this, like that. So once I get to my sleeve top, I'll start pleating, you know, going round like that. So you can see the lines we are going to sew now. So we'll go to the machine now to sew this. So like I said, this is a demonstration tutorial. All you need to do is to make your princess that bustier before you can join us in doing this. So this is the fabric part. You also have your lining. Okay, so once you finish this on your fabric, you can now turn the neckline with your lining and close up the sleeves and the sides. Okay, so now I'll be showing you right now how to sew. All right, so it's time for us to sew the crinoline. So you can see this is the center front. So I turn it like this since I'm working from the center front line. This is the neckline and this is the center front. So now I come in with my flounce. Okay, all right, so the flounce is supposed to lay like this. Can you see? From that center front line, you are supposed to sew it. So since we don't want our seam lines to show, you are going to bend it like this to sew. Can you see? So now we'll be sewing from here. But I also realized that that flounce we are seeing from the center front was folded. Can you see that? We have it folded like this, the Ankara fabric. So I'm going to match my flounce like this, folded at this point. Okay, so once I fold the both together, I'm going to turn it around because I don't want my seam to show. So I'm going to sew on the chalk marking I made. Can you see that? On the chalk marking I made, I'm putting the both together. So once this center front line is doubled. Okay, so I believe you are seeing what I'm doing. So this is the bodice and it's spread and it's being sewn on the sleeve following the chalk lines. So I'll keep sewing now. Okay, so I've sewn that part. Now I'm going into the marking of I made on the sleeve. I believe you are seeing what I'm doing here. This is the marking I made on the sleeve. So I'll just sew in like this to the sleeve, as you can see. So the next thing I'll do is to start pleating from the sleeve part. That is, it depends on what you actually want, but what we have on the thumbnail right there, the sleeve was pleated at that point. So I'll keep pleating, as you can see. So you pleat the way you desire. So once I sew the first chalk line, I'm going to turn around, and this time around I'm going to sew like this. Okay, remember that this part will cover this part like this. So it all depends on what you actually want anyway. So I'll be sewing like this, as you can see. Remember, the fabric you'll be using to turn for lining and fabric is also the same, but this is a demonstration tutorial. That's why you have this color and this color. So if you are making use of the same color, nobody sees which part is front or back. So I'll keep pleating the way I want. So your pleat depends on what you actually want. Okay, so you can make it kissing pleats, you can make it box pleats. So you can see me sewing right there. Then I've gotten to the last part. Okay, so once I get to the last side, like I said, the fabric you'll be using will be the same. So as you are turning it like this, you won't even notice the part that is lining and the part that is fabric. So I'm still sewing on the chalk line. Okay, the chalk line I made. As you can see, I'll keep sewing the chalk line on the chalk line like this, like that, on the sleeve. Okay, so I've completed the sleeve sewing right now, and I'll back stitch. Alright, so now you can see what I have right here. So this part that is opening, okay, like I said, this part will be flipping like this. Okay, so you can just tack, close up this part by tacking it, tack everything neatly. Okay, just a little tacking. Okay, you can use your machine to tack, you can use your hand to tack, just to close up this rough part. Okay, alright, so now we are done. So I'll be showing you how to close up the bodies. So you can see we have sewn the crinoline from the center front where we marked. Can you see that? So if you want to also pleat the front side, it's all your choice. So the length of your crinoline depends on what you want of your flounce. Okay, depends on what you want. Here I have 3.5. Okay, my flounce was cut at 4.5 inches. Once I sew this pattern, so I have 3.5. You can also reduce this to 2.5. Okay, meaning you'll be cutting 3.5. Once you sew this and this, you have 2.5. Okay, as it is on the screen, is about 2.5, 3 inches. So now this is the front bodies. You can see it has been sewn, and the sleeves has been sewn. The back bodies, we can see nothing was sewn to it. So all we are going to do after this, you kiss your sleeves the normal way you close up your sleeve. So this is your sleeve, and you are going to sew down and close up all the bodies, front and back. So I'll close it up now, put it on the dress form for you to see the final outfit. Alright, so this is what it looks on the dress form right now. You can see the flounce is running from the center front line to the sleeve, just as we stitched. So I'm done sewing the sides of this dress. So if you are going about this dress, draft your princess that bustier, sew your bustiers together, give it a good press, sew your sleeve first, mark out the flounces and sew your flounce on top of it, and you will get something beautiful like this. So you can reduce the length of your flounce. Actually what I'm using here is 3.5, but you get that exact flounce on the thumbnail, you need 2.5 or 3 inches length of this to sew into your dress. Alright people, so that is how we come to the end of this tutorial. If you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends, and drop your comments on the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.